Hello and welcome once again to the Thrifty Collector. Today we're going to go ahead some of my through the mail returns that I've been getting. I've got a huge stack and haven't really done any videos on a lot of these, so it's kind of time to go. The first card here is Charlie Rabe. I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly. This is his 1958 Topps card. It is the only card that he ever had. His statistics are actually minor league statistics. But Charlie, it's kind of neat. He's 90 years old this past year in 2022, and so, but he's still signed. It still has a nice signature, like a lot of the older guys do. A lot of them took pride in their signatures. They know how to sign something besides their first and last initial, or maybe an X, like some of the newer guys do. But yeah, 1958 Charlie Rabe. Next is a 1963. Joe J of the Cincinnati Reds. Both of these guys were Reds players. So, but your 1963 Topps Joe J. Next is a 1967 Topps Don Wallace. You can tell he signed up there over in the top left. Don was, this is with the California Angels. Now, unfortunately, I cannot get the other guy, Bill Klesko, to sign. Bill passed away about 10 years ago, I believe. So this will be the only signature on this card. Next also is the 1967 Dick Green. Dick Green was kind of a staple for the Kansas City A's, Oakland A's, for about a good decade or so, a little bit over. Played on all of the World Series teams. Remember, the A's went and won 3 series in a row. So when everybody says, "Oh, the Yankees or the Reds were the dynasty of the 1970s," everybody seems to forget about the Oakland A's winning 3 in a row. The Reds won a couple. The Yankees won 2 in a row. But the A's actually won 3 in a row back in the 1970s. Next card is a 1969 Lee Aaliyah. He actually does charge $5. This was a nice clean card I had of his, and it's the 1969 set. As you can tell, the hat is airbrushed. He had come to the Cubs, so this must be kind of an older picture of him, because he was actually on the Cubs in '68. Usually if they get traded in between the seasons during the off season, they'll have to airbrush it, but this is Lee in a Cubs card, but obviously in somebody else's uniform. Next is one of my favorites. It's the Seattle Pilots, the team that played 1 year in 1969. Jerry Mcnerdy, I believe that's how you pronounce that. Just a great card. Love the 69 Pilots. The next card is a 1970 card. This is John Gelner, and I actually have 2 of those. I also love the ones from the 1970 set that still had them in Pilots uniforms. You can tell this is probably at a ballpark. There are some from 1970 that have them, and it looks like spring training. And I talked about my other video where they were actually in spring training as the Seattle Pilots before they got sold and got sent over to Milwaukee. Next card is a 1970 Jerry Morales, or Rick Morales, sorry, with the Chicago White Sox. This little stack is a little Pilots heavy here. Have a 1970 Buzz Steven. Just a good card there. What I like about this card, you can see in the background here, it looks like a little bit of a mountain range. So obviously it was not here in Florida where they did spring training. But yes, Buzz Stevens. What a great name. And Buzz actually did not play for the '69 Pilots. So that might have actually been during spring training when that picture was taken. So just another one of those cool ones. Don't know enough about the Seattle Pilots stadium to know exactly what's going on with that. Next is one of my favorite players, just because I get a kick out of him, David Segee, who I believe I wrote to. I believe he lives in Puerto Rico. Any player that's in Puerto Rico, you can just send a regular U.S. stamp. They are considered a territory of the U.S., Puerto Rico, Guam. All you need is a regular U.S. stamp. They use U.S. money. So if you're going to send anybody in Puerto Rico, it's real easy. It's just like sending to somebody into the next state. Next card is a 1970 Skip Lockwood. He actually played a whole 6 games with them. Once again, there's that little mountain region. So that's kind of neat on that. Next, I got a 1971 Dick Green. Once again, one of the, just an everyday player for the, well, by then they were the Oakland A's. So a 1971 Jerry Mcnerdy. And this has Cubs, but obviously it's from the Cardinals. So obviously he was on another team in 1970, or this is just actually even an older card than that. So that's kind of neat about that. Next is 1971 Brewers Skip Lockwood. Skip ended up playing with the Red Sox and the Mets. Just to kind of show you a little difference, the 1970s card was a Seattle Pilots card, where the 71, they have now moved on to Milwaukee. Got a 1972, another Diego Segee. I think I said David last time, but just another 72. This card's kind of neat. This is 1973 Dave Bristol. You can pick up Dave Bristol's first card. It's a 1969. He was kind of about 32, 33 years old and was the Cincinnati Reds manager. He was going to be the new hotshot manager. Only managed a couple years there. They got rid of him, brought in Sparky Anderson, so that was actually a good haul for them. But this is when he was one of the coaches for the Montreal Expos, and Bristol was also the manager of the 1969 Seattle Pilots. Here's another Skip Lockwood, 1973 card. 1973 Diego Segee. Getting into the some of the 74, that's Tom Walker with the Expos. And a 1975. And would you look at this, another Dick Green 1975. A lot of these 75 cards are from last year when I went to that show in Daphne, Spanish Fort, Alabama, and bought all them commons from the 1950s to about 1982, 83. And here's another Tom Walker. This is his time with the Detroit Tigers. Of course, the 76 set. I always tell everybody the 76 set, the 69 set, great sets to own. What's kind of nice about the 76 set, you do not have the high numbers. Topps quit doing the high numbers in all the different series. 73 was the last year for that. So thanks for letting me share a little bit of these. Hopefully it gives you guys some good ideas of who to send to. If you're an A's fan, but you're kind of a little bit younger, you don't remember a lot of the guys from the 70s, Dick Green had a lot of great years with them. Well, maybe not great, but he was a great, steady player over the years. So everybody have a good one. Have a great Saturday. Stay thrifty as always.